watching TV9 News and I'm Prajwal D'Souza. CEO of Pfizer Albert Bourla has now highlighted the possibility of taking a third booster shot and an annual vaccination of the COVID-19 vaccine. The CEO of one of the largest pharma companies in the world also underscored the role COVID-19 variants can play in the future. The CEO said, and I quote, "A likely scenario is that there will be likely a need for a third dose somewhere between 6 and 12 months, and then from there will be an annual revaccination. But all of that needs to be confirmed, and again the variants will play a key role." What doses are being given now in India? Well, currently in India, 2 vaccines are approved for emergency authorization. Now, the vaccine Covishield, manufactured by Serum Institute of India under Oxford and AstraZeneca, will have a time interval of 4 to 8 weeks. Now, this means that once the first dose is given, a second booster shot that has to be given between 4 to 8 weeks of administering the first dose. In case of Covaxin, the booster shot can be taken 4 to 6 weeks after the first shot. Has there been a precedent? Well, there has been a precedent when it comes to taking jabs annually. Now, in the US, Centers for Disease Control has recommended taking seasonal flu shots every year. Even in Europe, the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control has recommended yearly vaccination for high-risk groups. But is the Pfizer CEO's recommendation valid now, or should they focus more on developing vaccines to tackle the different variants of the virus? Here is what immunologist Dr. Sitesh Roy has to say. Doctor, firstly, can you tell me what a booster shot is and why is it required?
So in any immunization program, once a person responds to what is called the primary immunization schedule and builds up antibodies and cellular immunity, it tends to fade or wane over time because there's something called memory B cells that make the antibodies. And we know that with most infections, except a few, these antibodies decline and booster doses are required to kind of re-sensitize the immune system and build up the antibodies again.
What do you think about taking a third booster shot or having an annual vaccination for COVID-19?
So booster immunizations have routinely been used in childhood immunizations, whether it is with oral polio and now with inactivated injectable polio vaccines, with hepatitis vaccines. We know that tetanus toxoid injections have to be taken once in 10 years, even for adults who are at risk of getting those kind of injuries. We know with coronavirus that with natural infections, with previous infections of coronavirus that we've known for 40 or 50 years, the immunity declines somewhere between 1 and 2 years. And I think based on the data that we have about the antibody responses of people in the clinical trials, there is a chance that the companies may be seeing a decline in antibodies and hence are suggesting that a booster dose might be required at 1 year or 1.5 years or 2 years.
Do you think currently the pharma companies should focus on making the vaccines adaptable to mutations or variants?
We absolutely believe that in any virus that mutates, you require to upgrade the vaccine and update it to the most recent variants of that virus so that the vaccine is most effective. We know this from influenza or the flu shots. Every 6 months, depending on the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere facing its flu seasons, the vaccines of influenza get updated and upgraded. And I believe that with the way SARS-CoV-2 is behaving, we will need to update the vaccines and upgrade them to the most recent variants so that the vaccines can protect people in the best possible way.
How long does it take for a pharma company to engineer its vaccines for different variants?
Depending on the platform or the technology on which the vaccine was developed, it is very possible that an mRNA vaccine, which does not require any cell cultures or any live virus to be grown, whether it's an adenovirus or the SARS-CoV-2 virus, can very quickly adapt and change the mRNA sequences so that a new vaccine can be developed in as short a period as 3 or 4 months. Whereas with the technologies where you are using live viruses which are then inactivated and injected, that same process could take 6 to 8 months to occur.
As we recorded this episode, India has reported over 2,17,000 fresh COVID-19 cases. Now, it is important that you take proper precautionary measures, wear a mask and maintain social distancing. If you like this content, do give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to TV9 News on all the social media platforms. Thank you for watching and stay safe.